going to begin today kneeling at the back of our mat, going through some neck stretches. Let's begin looking over our right shoulder and over to the left. Back to the right. And left. Coming to center, nod the chin down, get long through the back of the neck. And up. Down. And up. To center. Tilt your head over to the right side, ear to shoulder, keeping those shoulders down and back. If we want to deepen the stretch here, we can take our right hand and gently place it on top of the head to deepen the stretch. With your left hand, I want you to reach it down towards the mat, either fingers or flat palm if you can reach, and really press down. Over to the other side, ear to shoulder on the left. We can gently apply the hand to the head. Right hand presses down into the mat beside you. To center. Position your hands down on the mat ahead of you, fingers facing your body to stretch the wrists. If you like to here, you can rock a little bit from side to side. Kneeling back, hands on your knees. Let's roll the shoulders back. Good. Clasping your hands behind you. Ground your fists down behind you as you raise the chest and arch the back, gazing up. Folding over your lap, now keep the hands as they are. We're going to raise those arms up high as we lay our head down, gazing towards our knees. Returning to kneeling. Let's make our way to a tabletop position, lining up wrists under shoulders, knees under hips, toes pointing straight back, fingers spread wide, fingertips pressing down into the mat. On an exhale, we round out to cat pose. Inhale, dipping the belly to cow pose. Continue moving with your breath, finding a smooth movement here through the spine. If one of these poses feels better than the other, feel free to hold it a little bit longer. We really want to warm up the body here, finding space between each vertebrae, stretching the abdominals. If it feels good to move a little bit from side to side as you're coming up and down, you can do that too. Whatever feels best as we warm up here through the body. Good. Coming to a flat back, let's engage the core. We're going to go to a tiger pose, starting with our right arm and left leg. So it's an opposite reach. We're going to raise that left leg up and reach back for the foot with the right hand. From here, you can go back to that little back bend like we were in cow pose just now. Reaching that foot up and drawing it back to open up through the right shoulder and chest. Good. Carefully release, back to table, and over to the other side. So raising that right leg up, we reach back with the left hand. Good. Lift the foot and draw it back. Small back bend here, gazing slightly ahead of you. And we release. Curling the toes under, straighten out those legs, send that tailbone up high to downward facing dog, pressing through the hands, drawing the chest back towards our knees. We can walk out the heels here if it feels good. Gazing towards our hands, let's slowly walk to a forward fold, bending our knees as much as we like when we get there. Getting heavy through the upper body, we can hug our elbows and sway a little from side to side in ragdoll. Releasing the hands, inhale to a half lift, flat back. Exhale down. Inhale to upward salute. Exhale, hands to heart. Take a moment here to adjust if you need to. And a moment to deepen our breath. Let's float the right foot, shifting our weight to our left. We're going to hinge to a warrior three pose, keeping those toes pointed down to encourage the hips to remain squared off to the mat. We can keep our hands to heart or reach them forward. Stepping back to a warrior one, ground that heel. Sink into that front knee, making sure the knee remains stacked over the ankle and does not come beyond it. If it does, we can widen our stance a little bit, sliding that foot forward as needed, encouraging the chest, the shoulders, and the hips to square off to that front short edge of our mat. Opening up to a warrior two, widening our stance once again as needed. Getting strong through the legs here. Engaging the core. Chest is lifted, shoulders down and back. Strong gaze over that front hand. To extended side angle, lightly resting on that front leg. Keep the legs engaged. We're coming back to a reverse warrior. Clasping our hands behind our back, let's lift the chest, Fold to the inner edge of that front leg in a humble warrior, bowing the head. Engage the legs firmly here. Let's come back up, flat back. As we lift, we straighten that front leg, arms out wide like in Warrior Two. We're gonna shift and hinge to a triangle pose. Lowering that upper hand, taking it as close to that front foot as we can. We're gonna revolve our triangle, raising through the left hand and gazing up as much as possible. As we lower the hand, we rotate the back foot forward to a runner's lunge, bending through that front knee, lifting the chest. Planting the palms, step that front foot back to plank. Good, lower to chaturanga or all the way to your belly. Coming forward and up to upward facing dog. To downward facing dog. Gazing towards our hands once again, let's walk to a forward fold. Good, inhale, half lift, flat back. And exhale, lower. Inhale to upward salute. Exhale, hands to heart. Taking a breath here. Shifting our weight to our right foot now, let's float the left. We're going to hinge to a Warrior Three pose. Once again, keeping those back toes pointed down to encourage the hips to remain squared off to the mat. We can keep our hands to heart or send them forward. Stepping back to a Warrior One. Opening up to Warrior Two. To extended side angle. And reverse warrior. Clasping our hands behind our back to humble warrior, folding to the inner edge of that front leg, bowing the head as we raise the arms. Engage the legs, flat back. Let's come back up and straighten the leg. Send those arms out wide to triangle pose. Lower the top hand, placing it as close to that front foot as you can, revolving our triangle as we raise the opposite hand, gazing up. Lowering the top hand as we rotate the back foot forward, bending the front knee in a runner's lunge, we raise the chest. Plant the palms. Let's step that front foot back to plank. Coming through chaturanga, upward facing dog. To downward facing dog. Step your feet as wide as your mat. Let's walk our hands back and then lower our hips to garland pose. Hands together at your heart. Arms are pressing into the legs to deepen the stretch. Let's lift the chest flat back and draw that tailbone down. Good, making your way to seated, extending our legs ahead of us in staff pose. Inhale, arms up. Exhale to a forward fold. Returning to seated, arms at your sides. Let's point the toes and flex the feet. Just a few times. Good, then making your way to a cross-legged position in easy pose. Palms open on your knees or folded in your lap. We're going to take 3 really deep breaths to finish up here. And I want you to exaggerate these breaths, taking in as much air as we can and sighing on the way out, getting as much air out as possible. I hope you enjoyed today's practice. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't yet and give this video a like.